Morning, this is Don, Gunmuse Online, Don in real life. We're going to be talking about a little GOG this morning. If you've been in the Discord channel, I sent out an everyone shot. I'll send out another one here just a second that actually has the updated URL for this live. You hit the create button here. For those that are going to start filtering in here in just a second, we have adjusted the lives a little bit. Your text is on the screen because I went and did some review of how lives are working now because YouTube has changed so much stuff in the years. And I hadn't really cared enough to adjust it. What am I doing there? Select and drag, drop and drag a video. That's not what I'm doing. I want to create, go live. There we go. Save. See, man, we got people in there before I even get it. That amazes me. We have such a problem with getting the live stuff going. And people are, see, we're already 5 people in here. I ain't got in 7, or I ain't even got in here to click yet. All right. So let's get this out of here early because everybody complains if they don't get notified of the lives. I didn't catch it from the beginning. All right. Hold on. Let me get to my, I don't think that should be better for my voice. And I got no control over what YouTube does. We won't be bothered by Paper Matthew and Tom Vapor. I kind of made a decision. Those guys have been trolling for as long as I've known them. They're allowed in the Discord channel. They can go in there and say whatever they want to because it doesn't go away. But on the YouTube, I'm just tired of the crap comments of people who don't know what they're talking about. Tom Vapor, if you don't know, Tom Vapor came into the Discord channel this week to tell me that he's a German content creator, and I don't know what I'm doing, and if he did videos in English, he would stomp me into the mud. And for those who listen to my lives, I've been begging any content creator to come in and pick up the mantle and do the work, right? I like the fact that it does that snapshot, but should be a thumbnail on there. Why isn't there a thumbnail on there? It's on the... Okay, because it's live, I guess. Oh, you know where else I need to put it? And this is something I just don't do. I don't use my community tab enough. I never use my community tab. That's not even just enough. I just don't do it. And image, video. This is how YouTube wants me to get a hold of you guys. And I just don't do it. And live this morning. Come join us. All right. Resource has been exhausted. Check quota. I don't know what that means. What quota do I have? There it went. That's just a YouTube error. Okay. YouTube told me my resource had been exhausted. Like, I got no limits. Yeah. But yeah, Tom Vapor comes into the Discord channel. I mean, what was it? Just a week, 2 weeks ago, we're sitting there going, I pay $50 a month for you guys to have that Discord so you can talk to each other, help each other out. And I've been doing it. I hadn't made a video since last November. So this is the first. This last Tuesday was 4 days ago was the first video I've made in 9 months. And it got gobsmacks of views, and all the freaking little wannabes got their feelings hurt because I guess me being successful somehow diminishes them, and that's not the way it works. Yana, how you doing this morning, honey? Bill Bong, good morning. And I see that, man, should we make that text bigger? And I can't really open. Let me look at that. You know what? If I can read it on my little screen, I think you all can read it just fine as well. The chat that pops up on the screen is a blend of both Twitch and YouTube. I have turned off the Facebook because I cannot figure out what the hell is going on with Facebook. Facebook's always been weird. I've had a Facebook page since before any of you even know what the word Facebook was. And the reason is the software that was used for Facebook used to be called Firebase software. It was an open source software. Anybody could build a content creation system with it. I know that because we built it. They modify, it's open source, you can modify the shit. That's what we did back in the early 2000s, was everybody built an open source because the world was going to come together as one. And no, big corporations took any good idea they found, slapped their label on it, and called it their own, is what really happened. We had a bunch of open source software that has been relabeled that we built out of the Firebase systems. We're going to be relaunching some of the stuff out of the Firebase systems because even after 21 years, it is still some of the most secure software that we've ever seen or built. Getting that done. So hold on. I got to turn around and, man, that is so much nicer to have that up on the big screen up there. Woohoo. All right. Got my little scrolling advertising thing going. Got my scrolling checks. I just told everybody in Discord, which isn't many people. They should be playing KVK right now, right? Let's look and see what Kingdom 592 is doing. Oh, the Great Nap Fest. Yeah, that's what we're doing. The reason, and everybody asked me, was like, why don't you play anymore? That's why. They don't want to play. They are just, it's a place where the trolls settled. Yeah. Discord alerted you? K22, we can go do that. Well, that's what we're going to do this morning. You sure we don't want to watch us nap? I mean, exciting! Why don't you play anymore? It's exciting to watch naps. I don't know. Why do people go to a tower and then go back to bed? Level 5. You don't get points for killing your own kingdom. Or I might hit one of these towers. I I mean, there's farms inside of our towers. And the only 4 people I've even seen talk in Kingdom Chat. Yeah. I got lots of gold here. And we are going to be doing a new Kingdom Castle this morning. I actually did some prep work for it. And we do that. There we go. And then we're not even going to stick around for... Man, I warn you about Guns of Glory getting authorization via apps. It's as bad or worse. I go back to bed. I just don't even get up. I've got no interest in it. So here we are in Kingdom 7. What is it? Settings, account, new game. I think I'm in 798. And 799 is the newest, latest, greatest kingdom. Yeah, I'm in 7. So they created one on Wednesday. I showed up in Kingdom Chat when all the trolls were, oh my God, she's going to be the next queen. It was literally 30 minutes into the kingdom. It was the same conversation that we did the live on when we built 592. Same people, same trolls, kingdom, because Guns of Glory has this little team of individuals that go in there and create the conflict that's going to get people to spend money, because it's the only thing they know. They don't know any other source of how money can be made by, I don't know, say, entertaining people that play a game. People willing to pay to play this game, and they refuse to entertain them to do so. They will only deal with, I hate the round eye, conflict. So there's that, right? So we'll... For new players, but I am going to jump to 799. I would just go ahead and create another new account this morning, because what they did was they literally said in Kingdom Chat, want to go ahead and jump ahead. So they spawned a new kingdom thinking, because I did all this prep work. It just made 1799 this morning. All right. So let me go in here. Yeah, I'm at 798 right now, but I'm going to leave it. And then there's... All right. You have used loudspeaker ×1. It doesn't show you your own loudspeaker anymore? How do I know it went out? Yeah. Do. I think there is a code for New Kingdoms. GOG play here with capital G's and P and H's to give you some free stuff in New Kingdoms. Yeah, it's well, you don't want to get on the it's all dead train. It's not all dead. I can tell you from my statistics, it's not as dead as everybody keeps claiming it is. It's got life in it. It's just they don't care about it. But on that note, Kingdom Mergers Round 2 is coming. Since they know what they're doing, they're going to do it again, even though they screwed it up so much that it pissed everybody off. Guys, they just will not do common sense stuff. All right? The game should not have individual kingdoms at the startup. If you know that your kingdoms die after your events, then you just need what we call a Care Bear setup. You come in, you spend 2 or 3 months learning to play in a Care Bear setup, i.e., the what's it called? Uncharted Seas event. When you start Guns of Glory, you should be in the Uncharted Seas event. Okay, that's the way you should be starting the game. They can build 7 kingdoms all at once, and then oh my gosh, I'm getting bitten by something. What we got here? See, and there's your trolls, right? Because some random guy in Poland knows me so well that he hates me. He's in a brand new kingdom. See, you have to get into this disbelief that these random. Yeah, when I was in there on Wednesday, somebody in Chinese, like, oh my God, it's Gunmuse. I'm like, really? So these trolls set up all these new alliances in multiple languages. Yeah. Lich King's around. All right, man. Hadn't I banned your accounts? See, all you little troll guys, I'm done playing with you. I had been let you go freaking nuts for a while, but no more free promotion for people that hates it. Says. Blue, yes, 1982. Welcome. Okay, so let's get in here. Man, that means we're going to have to do that new freaking Doomajig. Okay, so we did the infantry damage, and this is why I went and pulled them off. They were over there spamming the freaking new video. You know, they were over there talking about the firewall on the infantry damage video because the firewall literally just crippled them last year. Right? Hey, you don't understand shit. You don't know nothing. I'm like, but everybody that's used it has praised it. You know, they haven't used it, but will tell everybody how it doesn't work. I was too old and too out of touch with how math works apparently. Hold on. Account management, unbind, yes. New game, $7.99. Start a new game, yes, yes. A 16-star kingdom. We are at 12. I don't even know what that means anymore, Ethan. I am a little bit out of touch on how they reworded things. At the end of the day, you can put a marketing spin on how you're changing things up, but there is core math that just cannot be undone. There are things about Guns of Glory that just can't be undone. It's the reason that I've been doing so well with this and educating you guys is not because I understand Guns of Glory so well, but I understand the core math of what it takes to game. I do well in all my games. It's a core math issue. Hold on. I don't have the Discord up. I haven't built a bot to blend Discord into the chat. And I don't know that I want to. Wait a second, where did that come from? Oh, that wasn't Discord. That was freaking Snapchat. All right. 16-star kingdom. Yeah, so you'd have to explain to me when I last did the KVK, it was 5 stars, and we were manipulating it. That's why everybody napped. We were manipulating the system. Yeah, whatever the math is now, it's manipulatable. The reason I know it can be manipulated is the people who create the math want to manipulate it. So there's always a path. They've changed it dozens of times over the years, and I'm going to have to go get some off or something. Wind was blowing, and it tends to blow these little dust mites around, and they are chewing on me. Out here in shorts today, do I have... my elbow itches. All right, 2 seconds. I got to run into the house. All right. Man, I swear I had a can off out here. Man, out here in this desert, wind picks up, and there's these little bitty dust mites that get carried in the wind. You get this layer of dirt everywhere. They're too small to see, and apparently I'm allergic to the damn things. Spray myself down with some poison here. Okay. Everybody's always looking for active people. No one's ever looking for inactive people. Yeah. Which leads me to my point that I was making, the reality is when the game was first built, in all honesty, your inactive people were just as valuable as your active people were. When we built the Kingdom 362, I literally went in there and built an alliance full of free players. And we were the most needed alliance in the kingdom. 362 is one of the most well-known kingdoms in the game right now. Being run by people that I train personally, along with Lady Fairchild. She did the day-to-day business stuff, and I trained her. She was a brand new player, and she's never came back. If she has, she hides. No one knows she's back. Yeah. The hiding under a big guy philosophy that's human nature. That's got nothing to do with the game. And then having multiple big egos in a kingdom, that's another issue. That's a human nature issue there. So having five or 10 coiners in a kingdom, the coiners tend to coin because they need to be the center of attention sometimes. That's not true with everyone. Like Dark Mystic wasn't that way. He just had the money and he wanted to play. I left because I got 0. Well, it's the same trolls in 362 that's going to be in 599 today there, Ethan. And since you commonly are always talking to those trolls, let me tell you how that works, Ethan. You're gone too. I know who you are. I tolerated you till you gotta be. They're in some chat room telling him what to say. I've had enough. He's a kid. He's not even supposed to be in here. It's supposed to be for adults only. Yeah, we're just gonna get rid of the trolls. I'm not giving trolls any more free advertising. I have put my entire gaming stuff on YouTube live. If there was a video of me getting zeroed and run out of a freaking kingdom because I got zeroed, instead of me announcing months in advance, hey, we're going to go do a new kingdom, we're going to try a new philosophy, on a kingdom build, we tried to work around the system that Guns of Glory puts in there to create aggravation, right? But it's not a fair fight. I can't turn around and drop 20 aggravators. I can't guarantee I'm going to get 20 to 30 people who are going to coin out of the goodness of their heart to counteract the aggravators. And quite frankly, that would meet their goal, not mine. My goal is not to run a kingdom. This is something that just cannot get through the mind of the communist mindset. How come he doesn't want to be in charge? Because it's a buttload of work. I pity anybody who's in charge of these things. I mean, you're trying to round up people that you can't see, hear, smell, or touch, and you're trying to deal with people that can't control their mouths and are outside slapping distance. No one has ever talked to me the way that the way they talk to me in chat. They just don't do it to my face, which tells you they don't really have any courage. They have couches. There's a quote, right? No courage, just couches. That's the best way to describe a troll. All right. So Tuesday's video is going to be on distance damage, which is the number 2 stat that you work on. Behind infantry damage reduction, you go to distance damage, especially early on, especially in these new kingdoms. And the reason you work on distance damage early is player versus environment. Distance is better. You're going to get better wolf results, which is you're going to get your Lord XP up a little faster. And it is the easiest on the airship. You can do your distance. You can max out your distance damage before you can max out your cavalry damage. It will take you a few months to open up that leg for the cavalry damage. And even then, it's not that great. Raina, how's it going? Yeah. So we're in Kingdom 799. Doing this stupid starter thing. This is where they're targeting new players, right? I mean, this was a good thought for that. But man, this is horrendous. I need to turn around and like get GOG bot installed just so I can turn around and have a botting system that does the startups for me like all the trolls do. It was a lot of work to set up that 798 to have it ready to go for you guys this morning. And then Guns of Glory is acting like the kingdoms are spawning so fast. We gotta do 2 a week now. Meanwhile, over on their Facebook, our kingdom is dead because of your mergers. Which, false equivalent. Kingdom was dead before the mergers. That's why the 1 or 2 coiners left. The that kind of stuff. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Oh, see if I can multitask here. Let's go up here. Oh, man, I am so brain dead on some of this stuff. I had an intention of being in here at 3 o'clock in the morning when KVK started, but I'm not setting alarm clocks. So when he's talking about why I'm not doing this the way I used to is, quite frankly, because of my health. I can't get up in order to do KVKs properly. I was spending $400 or $500 prepping for KVK. Why am I getting all these freaking pop-ups inside of here? What the hell? All right. New application. No, why are you... Default is always a new application. Oh, I can't see. There we go. New message. New push. Live in Kingdom. 799 this morning. Okay, there we go. And then image upload. We need choose a file. That. Save. And because they do stuff like this where they are constantly trying to move the ball, you know, I can't turn around and put things on timers. So like if I was all set up on Wednesday, if I knew I could set up on a Wednesday, get all my stuff up, this little push and everything, I could schedule a time, schedule the YouTube, pre-notify people, and then turn around and run my scheduling for all my notification software, which is better than YouTube's. And do it all on a schedule. But they do. They move the ball. They understand at least how that works. They know how to disrupt communication flow. But there's a thing in business like so. If you guys that watch me to learn how to run a YouTube business, there's a thing in business. You know, there's guys with hundreds of thousands of subscribers that don't make the money I make on YouTube. And that's because it is a business. It is not a popularity contest. The YouTube algorithm will recommend people. Anybody that goes and looks at a YouTube video that happens to be on their phone, Google more than likely is going to give them a little pop-up saying, hey, Gunmuse went live. They don't have to be subscribed. That's because of the business side's done right. And then there's that. And then, so we got mergers coming again, but there's, you can't, even if there were a rumor, you can't believe a rumor. So I'm looking through, and this is something else I noticed, guys. So I've got this computer system in front of me, and I sit down and I go through the messages that people put, or the comments that people put on the YouTube channel. And the comments that are shown to me via the web browser on YouTube are completely different than the ones shown to me via my app on my phone. So I took the Beagle to the vet yesterday. Got a little infection in his ear. Like I said, these mites are floating around in the air, and some got in his ear, and we took him in there to get his ear cleaned out, get his toenails clipped. My God, that dog had Freddy Krueger claws. I don't have any depth perception, so I'm scared I'm going to cut one of my dog's toes off if he wiggles. Yeah. So we were sitting there in the waiting room, and I decided to sit on the phone and go through comments and stuff. Completely different ones. I mean, I had stuff that I hadn't looked at that hadn't been answered in like a year. And a lot of it over mergers last year. And then all these comments on the YouTube channel, like, oh, my cousin who works for them said the mergers aren't going to happen. They rethought that idea, blah, blah, blah. And I imagine because when they first came out with the merger thing, I went in there and poo-pooed them and told them, and point blank, put the business spin on it. No merger in games has ever been successful. Ever. Finally, World of Warcraft just turned around and said, go wherever you want to go. We're just going to charge you a $25 fee to do it. And that's the only system that works. You let the customer balance themselves out for their entertainment dollar, which they give you to be entertained. And Guns of Glory has still got that communist mindset, that we're going to tell you how much fun you're going to have, and we're going to tell you where to have it. Give us your money, round eye. Which is what Tom Vapor was doing over in the Discord, right? I'm a German YouTube converter. If I went to doing English, I'd crush you. Go for it. In the 26 years now that I've been doing online marketing, it has never ceased to amaze me that for some reason there is a world of people out there who don't know that there's a back button. That they think you're trapping somebody into viewing you, looking at you, reading your content. Not that people don't try to do that, but it's not a trap. You've got to deliver what they kind of want to see so that they want to come back. Can't force anybody to show up here. Can't force anybody to be notified. The only thing that happens on the notifications that's beyond my control is the fact that they don't go out like they're supposed to. Me personally, I think if you click subscribe on YouTube, YouTube should notify you 100% of every channel you subscribe to, everything they do. And what'll happen is people who do too much stuff, you'll unsubscribe to them. Instead, YouTube has said, well, this guy's putting too many videos out, so we're going to turn around and only do about 10-15% of the notifications. They do that. So like I watch Blind Run over at the Son of Tech. He does a daily show 5 days a week. I get one notification a week of a live show. And usually 4 hours after he went live. Right? And I can tell you, some of that has to do with Oh, I found a bug in this startup thing the other day. So don't go through here clearing all your rubble before you build your buildings. I put a bug in the Quest. I couldn't clear the rubble. I did it before the Quest came up, and then there was no rubble left to clear. So, yeah, I got stuck on that Quest. I should have showed you that before I deleted that account. That's where I was stuck in that thing. Well, I called Creep the other night to see if I could get my. He doesn't have it. Creep has a castle that's way behind on 362. But once upon a time, it had a crap load of troops in it. 11, 12 million troops, which in itself has got value. And it didn't sound like it didn't sound like he wanted to be back there, which is a good thing for him. He's obsessive. He overpays and overplays. And I was always trying, especially in 362. Like Papa Bear to a whole bunch of people about overplaying and overpaying. You've got to have, they got it built into Google, where you can put a limit on how much you spend per month. Almost nobody uses it, and if they do use it, they turn it off the first time they hit that limit. I mean, the first time they hit that limit, they turn it off. The self-loathing like an overeater. It's like a fat guy eats cake because a fat guy needs cake, right? Creates a self-loathing situation. Yeah. Man, my blood sugar was a little low this morning. I woke up with like an 80 blood sugar. Have me a glass of Fairlife. Man, if you guys haven't tried that Fairlife milk, one of the largest dairies in the world reinvented milk by bringing it back to what milk used to be. And you had a whole world out there that was going, oh my God, I'm lactose intolerant. No, you have been fed so much frickin' sugar and starches and everything from every other food on the planet. One more, the lactose, which is sugar. That's what if you don't know what lactose is in milk, it's the sweetener, so that the calf wants to drink it, right? It's not all that sweet. It's not like sugar sweet, but lactose is sugar, and about a quarter of a freaking of milk is lactose. It's so you're like drinking sugar when you're drinking whole milk, which was awesome when you're a kid, but because we weren't eating crap off when I was a kid, we had a garden. That's what we ate out of. Grew up on a farm. We ate the food we grew. And then, so that everybody became lactose intolerant, and without realizing it was just the extra sugar that was easily absorbable that was sitting in your body in a freaking orbit. And so Fairlife is using a membrane filtering system, a mechanical filtering system, and they filter out the lactose, but they filter the milk down to, it's like 16 individual molecules, completely separate the milk. Then they put it all back together minus the lactose, and they take the lactose and they convert the molecules in it because it's an easily, just like when they take crude oil to a refinery, diesel doesn't come out of the ground. You tear the molecules apart, you put them back together, you make the product that you need with it. That's what a refinery does. That's how you get plastics for your iPhones. Anti-oil some bitches. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna. That is just not comfortable. Man, I got to go get a massage sometime today. My back has been killing me. Get my legs up. And so they're doing that, and then the Fairlife milk tastes like what milk used to taste like when I was a kid. We used to get it from the Mennonite dairy. Go down there and they milk the cows. They fill up these great big 1-gallon milk containers, or 2-gallon milk containers really, and it milk that had all the cream and all the other stuff to it had a creamy, buttery taste to it when you drank it straight from the dairy farms, and it was way healthier for you. Uh, and Fairlife, and you can actually get that milk in convenience stores. And I tell you, try the whole milk. Don't get the 2% because it tastes like 2%. There's nothing unhealthy about the whole milk from Fairlife, and it's got more energy in it because it's pure protein than drinking a Monster. The Monster Energies, and you guys know I drink a crap load of Monsters. I turned the Monster cooler off. The electric bill got insane. For those in the Discord, man, I posted up my electric bill. It was $2,300. We just paid that 4 days ago, $2,300 electric bill. Yeah. Let's go, Brandon. Yeah. That's not the only thing. So energy's gone up so much that home businesses are getting hurt. Guys, we had COVID. We had the COVID, which sent everybody home, right? And then a whole bunch of people are starting home businesses. They went directly after energy, which cripples anybody doing home businesses because there's all kinds of fees. So here at the house, if I go over 4 kilowatts a month, I pay double. And 14 cents a kilowatt doesn't sound like a lot, but it puts me completely out of the profit by 2 cents. I've got to be under 12 cents a kilowatt to be in the profit for my crypto stuff. For the ASICs, so I tore apart all my S9s and turned them into exhaust fans. I got $6,000 worth of units sitting over there. Got $6,000 worth of units over there. I gutted the internals out of and turned them into fans. All right, there's that. Go. So we'll see what happens with the new mergers. I'd like to revive my castle in 592. It's still way better than a whole bunch of I've had a bunch of people offer me castles, and I look at them, and quite frankly, they're more work than I want to put in them. Okay, so let's go chapter KVK day. Hold on, we're gonna look at some KVKs, but I gotta get. I'm gonna stick to this strategy, but it looks like Guns of Glory is gonna turn around and just spawn a kingdom. It doesn't cost anything, right? They're just gonna spawn a kingdom for no good reason. Yeah. Well, at this rate, that means Kingdom 800 will be open Tuesday. The there was nothing but Russian trolls, but the trolls in Kingdom 798. That's all that was in there. Yeah, maybe one or two players. That was it. Ah, I'm getting bitten again, and I didn't spray my face. I wouldn't even have got up early this morning if my wife hadn't set an alarm to get up. She's going out to the property out south of town to go jogging on our property. We got more hills out there. She wants to. She's training for the marathon in Washington, D.C., I think. I don't know when it is. Sometime in a couple months. I'm really trying to talk her out of that because we just bought that Vespa. Why go run a marathon when you got a Vespa to run around on? Yeah. And then I was like, so we buy a Vespa so you can run around and not burn fuel in the other vehicles, and then you're going to drive 30 miles in the other vehicles to go run instead of stepping out the door and running down the street. Yeah. I don't get it. Yeah. So why don't you ride the Vespa out to the property? I don't want to get on the highway with it. I'm like, then why'd we buy the big freaking race Vespa with the 300 motor? Yeah. I'm not comfortable yet. Lawrence Jones. Man, it ain't the Lawrence Johns. It is not the stats you got to worry about on an old castle. All that other dirty work you did in the guards and the damages, if that dirty work is done, it ain't hard to pick up and go. You know, uh, yeah, losing 10 million troops is. I mean, I had what 10 million there in 592 for a long time. I got 2 million now. That was one of the things. You know, numbnuts Tom Vapor was trying to point out. He's like, well, it sounds like you're bragging about losing half your troops. I'm like, I lost some T3s and I got all 3 awards for the event. I haven't built any troops in Kingdom 592 in 10 months. The and anybody inside the kingdom is going to hit me is going to lose a couple $100 just to zero it out. And even then, I've got enough sanctuary space to hold everything. I have not hit the hospital heal button in Kingdom 592 in 10 months. So I've got troops in the hospital. I got troops. I don't have anything in the sanctuary yet. So I still got spillover for the 2 million that's there. Most of my high-end troops are sitting in the hospital. It's why, telling everybody on the YouTube that he was, he knew more than me. Yeah, my stuff is safe because you can't kill it because it's not out in the open to be killed. Yeah, that would be true because they just went to a brand new KVK system today. What up, high? Yeah, so the brand new KVK system today. So that means that everybody kind of starts at zero. You can imagine that whatever system they got in mind is going to take a while to balance out. Got to give it at least 2 months for the new system. Wow, I'm like orange, aren't I? It has been so hot in this space. I think my 1080p camera has just been baked. Yeah, let me see if I can. Holy crap. I was farting with it, the other day, and I couldn't get it to work. Filters, edit filters. That crap. Wow, there's like nothing good here. I think that camera has cooked. Well, that's not too bad. Turn on saturation a little more. I was having beagle issues in here yesterday. So the beagle comes out to me, or the day before, I was coming out to set up make sure everything was good. And the beagle, it's like, why won't the green screen work? Turn around, the beagle's like all curled up in the freaking green screen. Yeah, it's got to be perfectly flat and level, and it's just not. Who is we there? What up, high? And if you're in my chat room, you're not paying attention to KVK, which means I don't know that I include you in the we. I think you want to be included in the brand of whatever we is. You need to be paying attention so you can participate. All right. What's next? Gotta go back in here. You know, they, in the little, because I've done this training thing a couple times where they show you the critical points. Let me show you. They're only critical when those dots are up. So they tell you those are the critical hit points, and I understand putting a guide on for the first one, but they're not critical later on. So shooting at that same critical spots doesn't give you more damage because you're hitting the target throughout that event, which is broken. That's a bug. You can't tell people that's a critical point, and then it's never a critical point except for the one shot that you're telling them it's a critical point. Yeah. Man, the Doom Cannon, that is something that hasn't been really updated. Man, the Doom Cannon used to be a nightmare back in the day, right? When you had a 300 top stat. Losing 25% I mean, it was devastating. But all you got to do is move. The whole point of the Doom Cannon was it was so devastating that everybody had to give up their tower. Or take massive losses. that's just not true anymore. You just take the hit. So the Doom Cannon is not a big deal anymore. And then like poison water is the big dick move, right? Once you get everybody in their hospital, that's what you do. All those people that go to bed complain about, and this is why the poison water is the big dick move. Is you got all those people who go run to a tower and then they can't. You come back about 2 hours later, you zero all the towers out with all the people that were napping inside there, and then you throw some poison water on them. Come back, and that kingdom just lost all their troops because if you get poison water on you, all you have to do is heal your troops. If you heal your troops, the poison water doesn't do anything. You know, because it kills the troops that are in the hospital. Which means you have to have RSS ready to counteract. That's why I said it used to be a big deal to prep for KVK. You had to make sure you had enough bagged RSS to overcome poison water and all that other stuff. We used to have in 362, we used to have, my God, 10 or 15 alliance leaders. It was such a kingdom effort in 362 to win a KVK because we could not have done it without the free play alliance leaders who logged on and ran their strategy centers, who did the work to make sure their strategy that they filled their gunpowder up between KVKs, because you barely had enough time to fill your strategy center up with KVKs. So all those free alliances were key to a kingdom like 362, which was underpowered, being in the top 10 every KVK. And it's the reason I went and built the 533 is I thought we had enough to build off of that we learned from. But honestly, the very, very bitter players, the trolls, that are in every kingdom when it starts up, because they're RSS cells or castle cells or hackers. You had 𝙂𝙪𝙣𝙈 over in 798 over there. He was the guy from 2 years ago. You know, he was the one that we literally put on film for hacking the catacombs. And his claim to fame as a troll is he goes in there and he hacks up a castle, then sells it. Yeah. All right, we're gonna get some of that troll talk right off the bat here. Let's go. Oh, come on, guys. I don't want to. Let us show you how to use a speed up. Otherwise, upgrading a castle can take 7.5 years. Why? Oh, you want to see some KVK action? I showed some KVK action. Kingdom 592 is in NAP. I am not here to promote kingdoms that are in massive KVKs. I don't even know if anybody believes those kingdoms are actually playing anymore. It's so easy to bot a fake situation there. Yeah, Oh, look at this. Same pictures. I'm going to start keeping you trolls honest. Yeah. Let's go in there. Gift codes. GOG. Friday here. I don't want one of them. Come on, let's put that up there. How many kingdoms do you think that works in? You think it's only in new kingdoms? There's always these people that you've never heard of that have this list of codes in new kingdoms. That's always for new kingdom startups, right? And let's do that. I hate the fact that we have to capitalize these properly. See, there's two different spellings of that one. That's why I'm typing them in on separate lines, so you can copy and paste. See, there's two of those play nows with different capitalizations. And then I'm going to copy and paste. All right. So when you post those up in the Kingdom chat, make sure you put them on individual lines so that people can copy and paste them. Otherwise, they got to remember all the damn capitalizations, and on a phone, it's just a pain in the ass, right? Yeah, got to go. I know it is for me. Too many. Please try again later. Well, the Love GOG one doesn't work. Try again later. Somebody's got a bogus list of codes. Oh, so the one with the lowercase worked for me. Let's see what we got here. Your feedback matters. This is what I'm warning you about here, where this thing is spawning web browsers activity now, which means that you can get into other problems. It worked. The Love GOG one work for you? You guys just saw. I'm not making it up. It didn't work. Hold on. I'll go back and try again. But there's 100 gold. There's 200 gold. Okay. I've seen that Love GOG one. Yeah. Settings, gift codes. Code successful. All right. What was the other one after that? Oh, the ones with the capitalizations. That one didn't work. That one worked now. All right. See, the trolls got all the and shout outs and shit like that right off the bat. They need their gold just as much as I need my gold. Now, wait a minute. Where's my gold? I'll tell you the other thing that's been going on is while under bubble in the new kingdoms, I've been getting zeroed. Enough video to maintain smooth streaming. So we're going to have bandwidth issues. That was something else I was going to touch on this morning. Is I run a Mofi, M-O-F-I, so that I can run my remote business out in the remotest part of the world. And the phone companies literally just said you can't have a Mofi anymore. AT&T and Verizon both said we're not going to let anybody, and I'm on AT&T right now, we're not going to let anybody sign up and use a Mofi anymore. Now, I'm grandfathered in because I've already got a Mofi. Really? So you can go to the main GOG Discord. Let me ask you a question. Where do you find the link to the main GOG Discord? Yeah. Putting some fun out there, buddy. What up, high? Got to remember, GOG doesn't even have a website. You're talking about their Discord channel, which means it has to be linked from somewhere. You got to be able to tell people about your Discord. I know I do. I can't just turn around and say, hey, Discord exists. Hold on. Let me put my link up for Discord, folks. Yeah. And I can also tell you that most people don't like to use Discord. I don't like it that much. There's my link to Discord. It's working in the older kingdoms too. Yeah, they're the spammer codes. They're literally for these people that are in the kingdom the minute the kingdom opens up. Like, oh my God, that person's gonna be the next queen. That banter back and forth where they're stealing photos off the internet. Yeah. This one, I think I've seen in 6 kingdoms. This picture. Just looking around. Yeah. All right. Well, here's the thing, though, guys. All that gold I supposedly just got. Cancel that. Don't do that. I didn't get the gold. Hold on. All right. So I didn't get it. Well, I'm just having all kinds of issues. Oh, it went in the bag. Okay. Good point. Well, I'm having all kinds of internet issues. Which is odd. Hello, McFly. Did it actually bind? It did not. There we go. Because those are kind of internal so that the spammers can spam codes, I would imagine it's going through some little laptop computer type thing, not an actual gaming server. Probably controlled by a marketing department. Like I said, knowing how games work, you guys remember the Huawei deal. Huawei gave me, $30,000 worth of freaking gift codes. And I had to put those damn things in $100 at a time. The they couldn't just they didn't have a proper account system. Yeah. Let's get out of here. Man, we're still in the. Oops. And Guns of Glory crashed. That's wonderful. Well, I got all four of them to work, but I had to keep trying. And then I'm having some internet issues, which could wind up being global issues. Well, that's why I was saying what it appears that they did with this Mophie ban was they knew all these people went home and then started businesses in their homes, and now they're trying to. Today with 5G, I went and bought a 5G Mophie, and I cannot get it to hook up to 5G. So even broadcasting this, where instead of getting 1 gig up, 1 gig down like I should be getting, I'm only getting 16, 18 megs per second of upload. And then they've been throttling my download. Uh, Basically, if I'm not on uh, uh, Netflix or something like that, my bandwidth is like half a meg per second. The On the download. And they haven't been throttling my upload. Not yet, anyway. Yeah. So on these starts of these things, you get up to a little level here, and you can start using the. You don't want to. They force you to upgrade one of them. Well, did I just not do that? I might be so impatient that I. Okay. Yeah, there we go. I, I was the march took so long to get there. I'm so used to my other castle, just like instantly get there. Confirm. There's our wizards in Pirate Land. No theme consistency in this game. All right. And let me go up here. Copy. There's that. And then let's go to my bags. Thanks for pointing out that I hadn't looked at my bags yet. We'll go at VIP too. Okie dokie. Getting that VIP is very important. Make sure you get that VIP out of your bags. See, guys, when you put these things in the freaking chat, man, don't put any other text in there with them so they can copy and paste. Gotta make it easy for somebody. There we go. Oh, let's see the chat go. There we go. We got the pondering. This is so suspect. I am brilliant. That is one of my most hated icons. Getting into a nasty fight with my R5 over there being no R4s or R5s on during the first 4 hours of raid in KOA. Kingdom of Avalon. Oh. My KOA is Kingdom of Avalon, for those who don't know. That was the predecessor to Guns of Glory. It says, everyone should know to be shielded. Yeah, that's a lazy R5. Tell him, come on here. Mark the time. That is a lazy fucking R5. First of all, it's an event. So, everybody should know to be shielded. Everybody should have a firewall built up, because the firewall does work in Kingdom of Avalon. And then everybody wins. Somebody comes over there and tries to plunder your freaking alliance during an event like that. All they do is lose their freaking marches. They're done. Got to remember, in events like that, it's the amount of times you can jump is very limited. Get everybody building up their firewall. Everybody worried about them top tier troops. You got to get that those T1s through T6s done. Get them done in bulk, and so you can eat up a T13 march. That's how you don't need to shield. Everybody shielding means they get no points. They get no free loot. That's what Tom Vapor was turning around, running his fucking pie hole about how I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't on. It's a 5% loss event. I lost 5% of my T3s, and I got all 3 levels of loot for not being on, and I set the castle up to be test hit. I made sure it was dead center of the forest where everybody could see it, because it's the first thing you see, right? When you go to New Kingdom, they center on the palace. I stuck my castle there so that some big guy would hit me in the forest. Yeah. And that's why I'm pulling them off the channels. You know, if all they've got to say is they know more than me without actually explaining what they think they know, then it's a useless conversation. I cannot debate somebody who just wants free subscribers and free views and shit like that. And he's not putting forth the work. And, you know, he knows the firewall doesn't work, but he doesn't have one. Or he built one and he doesn't want to admit they work. Whatever his thinking is. Because the other comment from Baber Matthew is like, oh my God, his artillery kills, you know, other commenters from other YouTuber, other players going, well, artillery kills 5 to 10% of the infantry. You kill the other enemy's infantry in order to win the fight. So artillery plays a part into it, and it doesn't die. The whole deal on laziness. I don't want to build artillery up because it's a lot of clicking, is what it really comes down to. There has been a 2-year-long fight and debate over whether or not to use artillery because I don't want to build it up. It's a lot of clicking. That means I'd have to use my speed ups. You don't have to. Well, I did, but you do to get all that stuff done. And you do lose some artillery, but you lose them in rows. But that's why the firewall keeps you so that, because it's like a, we call it the velvet rope. As a fight goes on, there's this velvet rope weaving back and forth between the kills. When we're talking about castle kills, right? When you have, because a castle kill is different than a tower kill. It's different math. I noticed while looking through the stats for stuff for you guys, my tower topper video is like number 3 in GOG right now. So people are trying to figure out, and that was, I think there's more than a few kingdoms that are starting to educate people on how to put 15 players into a tower. You had all these kingdom mergers, the old tower topper video. So now you got everybody that wants to play, right? And so the tower topper video becomes a relevant thing again. They're just starting to hit the problems that we hit in 3.6.2. We had so many players who were on and wanting to play KVK. You've got to manage time. And if you let the big dick in the kingdom go, you don't have T13s, you can't come play KVK. That shit. Yeah. But their health math, DJ. Every tier has an overall volume of health. And artillery has a lot of health. And or siege, they have a lot of health to them. And it adds health to the tier. Their ability to fight back is super limited. The best you can expect from is 5 and sometimes 10%. I get almost 10%, but then I have actually buffed up my artillery damage. So I'm happy to take 10% of somebody who's march away from them, especially when you're talking about million march caps. I kill 100,000 of your troops with my artillery, and I don't lose any artillery. Why would I not want to do that? Why would I throw it away? It is what it is, right? Does what it does. Yeah, a lot of KOAers still use the spine breaker and the other marches because that march math is actually relevant, but it's also becoming more relevant for Guns of Glory again. They went back to some of the old stuff. They went out of their way in Guns of Glory to screw up the calculators that I had over in Rogers Raiders. Went overboard, redeveloped their game, and it pissed off. I mean, they went from a $500 million a year company. They lost $150 million picking a fight with me. And I don't understand the thinking of why somebody didn't go, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired. We lost $150 million because you want to piss with this guy? What did we gain from pissing with this guy? Well, he insulted the work that I did last week when I did all that work on the graphics. I didn't tell you to half-ass it. I just reported it. I'm not in charge. I have offered to be in charge, but they don't want to listen on that. Let's go here. Everyone from the Ukraine. So this Dark Orchid seems to me to be one of the trolls. It's just peppering. I mean, just constant peppering. Ukrainians. People get in their houses freaking shelled to death and they think they're playing Guns of Glory. Yeah. I promise you there's not a lot of phone gaming in Warzone. Just saying. Yeah. Waiting around for the rapist to come through the door. Is that what they're doing? Yeah. I'm gonna caveat that to say I don't believe the news when they said that people were being, raped by the Russian army. I don't believe that. I think that was bullshit. The if there was any truth to that, we should have been sending planes in there and just knocking the shit out of them. Not turning around going, well, we're going to send a piece of paper over that says, we think you're a war criminal. No, how about we send a freaking set of missiles from some F-22s up your ass, and we'll just end this shit right now. We do have a treaty with Ukraine, signed by Bill Clinton, that said, hey, if you guys give up all your guns, the United States will protect you. If you don't know, Democrats lie. They gave up all their guns and Russia took them over. At the same time, they're the same people going, if you Americans give up your guns, all those Chinese military people sitting down in Mexico, they're not going to come in here. The Americans gun ownership is I wouldn't pay $250 for a freaking C-43. You can get a C-43 for free. Look at that shameless promotion, Ragnarok, because he knows I'm on the freaking. Yeah. Yeah, in some dead kingdom. Yeah. Man, I paid $500 for a C-40, and it had all the rare gear. Back before there was troop training gear, there was a set of gear you get that gave you 10-12% off of your training stuff, and it cost like $4,000 to buy that stuff. I mean, that's the stuff that you get by bidding in the auction house. And I paid $500 for the castle, and I know more than $100,000 to spend on that castle I paid $500 for. Yeah. We've been discussing game development stuff with a couple of investors again. It's hard for them to understand. The problem with getting the game stuff off the ground is it's hard for investors to understand why I think the industry's wrong and I'm right. Okay? If somebody comes in and invests a year of their time in building a castle, say, why wouldn't I want to put an in-game auction house so you can sell your castle and take a percentage of it? I'll let you sell your stuff. I'll let you sell your work. If someone's willing to pay you for it, I'll let the market decide what it's worth. I'm not going to tell you how much it's going to cost. I'm just going to say I'm going to take 20 cents of every dollar you make. I'd build it right into the system because people have invested a lot of time in these things, and the market, like I said in the last live, every 3 months the market shifts. So if you have a Care Bear system where castles and learning takes place in a neutralized environment, if you're going to get into the pay for play, and people are going to, you got to do it in such a manner that you keep building the community of paid players up. supporting the community of paid players. Having kingdoms doesn't do that. You literally abandon them. So they set up a kingdom 798 on Wednesday, and you've already abandoned 798 for 799 2 days later, thinking you're going to create this conflict. Your outdated conflict thinking from the year 2005 is just that. You know, in the internet world, you know, you go to a website, and at the top of a website is a banner at the very, very top, right? Only if you're an idiot. Now they put banners in the middle of the page, and even then, you get what's called banner blindness. For instance, on your screen there, you see my little Gunmuse going flashing up. You guys hadn't even noticed that banner for a long time until I just said something and pointed your attention to it. It's been sitting there flipping, doing things. You get to where your brain gets to where it doesn't even see it. It's called banner blindness, is what we call it. The same thing with, you know, we now know how to play the pay-for-play games, and we're not going to fall for the same crap. You cannot build these conflict games like this and pit one guy against another and see how much money you can bleed out of them. You've got to take your paid players and make it interesting for them to play. World of Warcraft tapped into that when it was the original, and they tapped into it by accident. It got so big so fast, and there were so many high-end players. The old Dark Orchid is sitting in KC like the Walmart greeter. The $50K, $75K stats. Is $50K even a top stat anymore? Even the top stat, isn't like 35 the top stat? Yeah. What is the name of Pakistan? I think the trolls are trolling the trolls here. Yeah. All right. Let's go to Doot. You know, this is something I didn't think about when I said I was going to be doing new castles on the live. I got to get up to a certain castle level to even see. No, I don't. Look at there. All right. There we go. So, Kingdom 450 seems to be kicking Kingdom 22's ass. We got a level 3 over here. Got that great big My Estate button fucking blocking the view of everything, right? 450. They must have just took that because they don't have any levels on that yet. This is an old technique, you know, parking farms in the forest. Well, hell, the skins are from like 3 years ago on these farms. Ah, ouch. Something bit me. We are fighting 100K stats. Really? Yeah. It's like whose line is it anyway? The points don't matter. The stats don't matter. Yeah. When you see, but you say we're fighting 100K stats. All right. So you're telling me what their top stat is, which is important in rolling. And anybody with an 80K, but what is their damage? The guy who bought 100K stats, is he logging into the game enough to up his damage numbers? It's the combination of coining and playing does not intersect that often, right? So you have to play to get the stats, to get the real stats, which is the damage numbers. You got to log in every day play. You know, or frankly, you know, GOG bot. If you're running a GOG bot on your account, you know, it'll go out there and grind all that stuff out. You just got to log in every couple of days and do that stuff. But yeah, I can't see your stat reports. It's not even that relevant. I mean, it's if the stat is the only thing that matters, then there's no reason to play the game. As soon as you see that their stat is bigger than your stat, we're done. Go home. Which is the way a whole bunch of people like Tom Vapor and Paper Matthew talk. I mean, he literally said in the Discord chat, it's a pay to win game. No, you can pay to overcome, but if you play, you know, you can win too. And we've proven it over the years. Well, that's kind of cool. That's a neat airship. The little dragon airship, bone dragon airship. Hadn't seen that before. Whole bunch of people got it. That must have been a recent event. Yeah. So let's go. $640, $1274. How weird is the map is not freaking 0-0, right? And a proper grid pattern. Quadrant style. Kingdom 426. Crown finishes. So they just took the palace a little bit ago. Yeah. And see, you don't have a bunch of castles spawned out in here. Yeah, 5 billion power, that's not a lot anymore. But he is carrying a wonder. So, man, it's hard telling these old kingdoms, right? The so many people just kind of maintain accounts. They're not coining anymore. 5 billion power, that could really mean you had. I mean, he's a C44, 5 billion power. That's not a coiner. $5 billion power. But C45. And there's a lot of people who turn around and say, well, there's no reason to go to C45 because all you get out of it's March cap. Groot, the original Groot, is one of those. He's not going to spend the money for C45 because it doesn't increase his damage or power stats one bit. You know, it just gives him a little bit of March cap that is irrelevant at that volume. It's volumes and percentages. Yes, goat or god. Where's the difference? See brand new players in here just spewing the. Yeah, guys, I just want to put it in human perspective. If there were that many people trying to build new alliances that were looking up gift codes and doing that kind of management in real time, this game would be worth trillions of dollars. If there were that kind of people, if there were people out there that were long term worried about your gameplay inside the game, they don't exist. They're rare. Mama Moose in 362, she really took care of a lot of people because she wanted to. I don't know where we were talking. Was the last live we were talking about that? And you know what? Let's go look at 362. Let's see what 362 is doing. Do, 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 do. 362 is bubbled. Probably because they're kicking some other kingdom's ass. Yeah, I don't see anything. I don't see any action going on there. So 362's got 3 maxed accounts. So I don't know who they're playing. I would imagine they're sitting in some other palace getting their kills on. Who is playing Kingdom 362 that's getting their butt kicked right now? Do we have anybody on that knows? I should have some 362 players in the chat. Yeah. Man, we're like bouncing up, bouncing down. I hate to cut off 311 and 162. See, how do you know that? What up? Yeah, that's a lot of information that's not publicly available. There's Roma. Roma's a max stat castle. Uh, 362. Yeah, they're all levels 5. 162. I'm hoping that during the merger here that I can just bring my 592 castle to 362. The freight train. I don't know who freight train is. I probably know who freight train is, but I don't know. Well, 362 got so many big players that came to them during the merger. Yeah, they can hang out in the towers all they want. The doesn't do them any good unless you take back the palace. For those who don't know, new players, I mean, there's a whole reason of doing this thing. You take another kingdom's palace, and your palace becomes bubbled until you can kick the invading enemy out of your palace. You can't take over their palace. So there's no reason to have anybody. Usually at that point, you just put like 1 or 2 people, 1 or 2 cavalry sitting in the palace that is bubbled, unless you've got a shaky hold on your enemy's kingdom. And this got in. I remember this debate. Somebody was watching the KVK where we were in another palace, and I was sitting in a bubbled palace in 592. I was like, I don't understand why. Like, because we were barely holding that other one. And that's why. The minute somebody broke that palace, and they would have broke our timer. And so you got to concern yourselves with timers. And since I was so much bigger than everybody else in the other kingdom, as long as I was sitting in the palace, our palace, even though it was bubbled, if they broke that palace, so the rest of the kingdom was fighting for the other kingdom, and if they broke that palace and tried to one-hit our palace to break the timer, my castle was so big at that time that it wouldn't have happened. And then so there's strategy to that. You don't always want your biggest player up front if there's a shaky hole in another palace. It sounds like, well, get your biggest players and go. That's not good strategy, and it's how you kill a lot of players. Yeah, cannons fire at the palace. That's why you and that was the thing. Okay, so the very event that I'm talking about, I had a full march in there with cannons firing at me, and it was chewing down my march. But that's because the rest of our kingdom could barely hold the other palace. They held it, but could barely hold it. And then, so rather than me go over there and lose, 5 million troops, 6 million troops, knocking around while we let them do their strategy thing. And that was part of the learning experience for them, too. They need to learn to stand on their own 2 feet. So when cannons are firing at the palace and it's bubbled, one of the strategies is, just put 1 cavalry in there. It will not kill the last cavalry. It will not kill the last troop. If you only got 1 troop in there, the cannon won't kill it. So, but if you're going to do that and you're the rear guard, you still got to be in the kingdom, and you got to be staring at the screen like a psycho, ready to speed your troops in. You don't want full marches in there unless you can afford to take the full march hits. And then so I would leave a full march in there because I was walking away from my screen. And the cannon coming back every 45, 50 minutes and chucking. It's an expense, right? So you got somebody that's holding rear guard underneath the bubble. It's not that they're not losing troops. And what's worse is the troop death that you take doesn't count towards your points. So you're losing troops, you're spending money, and you're not getting loot for it. That's the crappy part about doing that job. And then people who don't know any of those facts run their freaking pie holes Oh, coward sitting underneath the bubble, losing troops and not getting loot for it. And it's really just part of a strategy of, we don't know that we can hold the other kingdom and keep our bubble up. And you hope you make it so annoying for them to take back their palace that should they take back their palace and everybody comes back to your kingdom to defend, they're bled dry. Because you got to remember there's another factor involved in there, and that is it takes gold to go to another kingdom. It takes gold to speed in the towers. Oh my God, I'm in the yawn fest here. I'm going to make everybody yawn. Yeah. You play in 362, 311, or 162? I hadn't had no coffee this morning. All right. There you go. Let's start some trolling here. You just said the word yawn, makes me go yawn. I don't yawn that often. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. See, not a lot of activity there. What was the other one they were playing in? Ugh. Ouch. Okay, so yeah, this next Tuesday's video is going to be on distance damage. Yeah, I haven't had any coffee. I I started drinking. I never drank coffee until like a year ago, and I started drinking coffee because it helps with my cough. Yeah, yeah, it better than cough syrup, except for the codeine cough syrup. Codeine's the best thing ever for cough. Yeah. Uh, I am so deep in the woods with the VA because you know me, I like a good fight. Yeah, I've got. Matter of fact, I'm right now setting up with an office of the Inspector General to start an investigation on very specific political appointees inside the VA. The My dog don't get up at 5 a.m. I got a beagle. That sucker At 5 a.m., if he's waking you up, that's because you stole too much of the pillow that he wanted. Yeah, that's all. He is the chief dog that just died. You know, the golden retriever. He was a morning dog. That dog would stick his head on the edge of the bed and wag his tail for 2 hours till you woke up, just so he'd be smiling and wagging his tail at you when you woke up. Just, golden retrievers are goobers. It's in their genetics. Yeah, but this is our third beagle. Beagles are. I had one named Trapper. My first beagle was named Trapper. He would get up a half hour before sunrise, go out and chase rabbits, and come back to bed. And then once that dog was in bed, if you tried to move him, growling began. Wherever he decided he was laying was not up for debate. So before he got settled, you needed to make sure he wasn't someplace you didn't want him. And he's not the only beagle that way. Like they growl when they sleep. Beagles are a weird dog. Yeah. They're hard to teach. They tilt their head at you. They look all adorable. And there's like a 30-second delay between what they heard and the thought going off. And then once you realize that there's a delay and they're processing it, like, he said something to me. Do I know what that is? They do a little head tilt thing. Yeah. Everybody thinks they're adorable because of the head tilt. It's really just because they're dumb dogs. Well, they're just slow to think dogs. All these specialized characters in the names. Got their photos uploaded already. On a kingdom that just opened up this morning. Yeah. Just shit talking. See, and I'm going to point out that contradiction. Remember Miss Greeter to everybody to the kingdom chat? Suddenly smart ass talking the other troll. Yeah, So is she the nice person that just wants you to come in there, or is she just nice till she gets enough people to fill their alliance up? Right? Gotta watch. Don't be afraid to lurk the kingdom chat. The alliance not in the top 10 on day one is probably a better place to be. But at least for entertainment purposes. Honestly, a good alliance is 40 people. Not 80, not 100. Yeah. 40 people that want to log in, want to just burn some time every day, chat, have a conversation. The social alliances are very valuable. The problem is kingdom leaders and KVK leaders don't take advantage of social alliances and their value. We did that in 362. That's one reason 362 is well known and famous. But they kind of lost some of that, right? There were people that I promoted to king and queen that immediately, as soon as we were doing it, the trolls and the coiners were in their ear constantly. And I am not a social butterfly in game. I don't talk to you unless I need to get something done. Because I got a million other things I was doing at the time. So which is bad, but you can't be everything to everyone. Yeah. That's why you need a team of people that do the social butterfly stuff. That's why I'm always giving recognition to what Lady Fairchild did. Uh, and that she mama the freaking alliance. And so Mama Moose, Mama Herd alliance. I mean, that's people who coordinate and get that dirty work done are the most valuable players in the game. Uh, they don't tend to be strategic thinkers. They usually can't think in real time what to do next. And as long as they recognize that at the point that immediate conflict is taking place, we go to our strength there. It all works out good. That's what cooperation is. Recognizing your weaknesses and other people's strengths. Not my current beagle. My current beagle could care less what a rabbit looks like. The trapper dog that I had, the first time we took him out of the truck out of the property, he stuck his nose to the ground and went screaming off and chasing a rabbit smell. It was in his blood. My current beagle goes, Where's your mom at? Doesn't she have hot dogs for me? That's his only. I like Pat. She's got hot dogs. Yeah. He could care less about hunting around. Although he points. We just took him on that trip to Kansas. He sees something interesting or he sees somebody over there and he points naturally. He's a natural pointer. He's got a good point too. He's one of those. He's got such a natural good point. He could win some competitions. If he was, like I said, we had him at the vet yesterday. My beagle was 34 pounds. He's only 13 inches tall. He's the same size standing up as he is laying down at this point. Yeah, he's round. And my back's so bad, I can't really hold him. I dropped him yesterday getting him out of the Jeep on his back, flailing like a freaking turtle. Yeah. Felt so bad for him. But I don't want him to jump out of the Jeep. The Jeep's so tall that when he jumps out of the Jeep, he kind of hurts himself. That gave me an idea. I'm wanting to build a set of stairs that bolts to the rear seat. So you take the rear seat bolt out and you put one bolt in, and then you have these fold-up stairs. So you have this fixed point in the Jeep. So when I open up the back door of the Jeep, I just flip the stairs out. It goes all the way to the ground. The dog can walk up in there and walk back down. Yeah, everybody's always talking about their loving pity, and every crack dealer owns one, right? There's a reason they're a rescue. I won't rescue dogs with the aggressive nature. The the I People highly underestimate that we had a German Shepherd that we took in kind of as a rescue. He had bit the UPS guy and he bit the mailman in town, and the judge ordered him destroyed or removed from the city limits. And so we took the dog in for the guy in exchange that because he grew these puppies. But that German Shepherd bit those two people because the kids were playing in the yard. He had a point to it. There's no such thing. He hasn't shown aggression yet. You don't know what's going to make him aggressive. This is the point of the story. So we took Max in, the German Shepherd. Never had a single freaking issue with him. And then we had him for years. One day I was playing with another dog. Max just walked up and grabbed me on the shoulder and sunk his teeth in slowly. Didn't run over, grab me, and shake me to the ground. Just walk up, bit me, stuck his canines in, all four canines, and then walked off. No rhyme, reason, or purpose to it. Or when Max saw somebody in uniform, he wanted to kill him because he'd gotten stuck in doggy jail. And he decided that people in uniform were dangerous to his family. Like German Shepherds are a one-person dog. So you get a German Shepherd that's over a year old, he will never, ever be your dog. No matter how polite and kind that dog is, he will never, ever, ever be your dog. So was it, she's almost a year old now. We went and picked up Sunny because a veteran had a dog that died, and then somebody called us and told us they had a dog that day, and we drove like 8 hours to pick up that German Shepherd. I go over and see Sunny. Now, Sunny won't talk to anybody that's a stranger, but I go over and see Sunny, and Sunny is all up in my lap, just all over me. But I also held Sunny for 9 hours while she was a puppy on the ride home. That dog remembers me every time I'm over there and doesn't care about anybody else. There's traits inside the genetics of a dog, and you have to be respectful of it. Pit bulls are aggressive natured, and you don't know why he was abandoned and what somebody did to that dog before you got to it. My beagle doesn't want to get anywhere, and beagles are friendly dogs. Won't go near other people because of whatever happened to him before I got him, because he was a rescue. Oh yeah, we're just botting freaking symbols at this point, keeping the chat alive. Uh uh no, it's not that they hate uniforms. They're a one person dog. Dobermans too. Uh Rottweilers. They bond with their owner and that's it. Yeah. You got to be careful with those big aggressive dogs. They bond with their owners. Uh, it's not that they're not grateful. It's not that they won't be respectful in the home. It's just my nephew. It was? Man, it was a big. I can't even know. I don't even know what this dog was. It was huge. They rescued it, and it was overly aggressive. And we pulled up down to the house one day, and I almost shot his. If it hadn't have been my nephew's dog, I'd have shot the dog that day. Because he was just out there growling and snarling, and was a big ass dog, and just slowly walked away and went home. He wasn't in his yard, wasn't where he's supposed to be. And we told him, says, you've got to get that dog under control. And they just weren't paying close enough attention to the dog. They're basically feral animals that lived in a house. And it wasn't 2 months later, he had a friend over, and that dog just randomly jumped up, grabbed that kid by the head, and shook him like a rag doll. And then I think the thing that pissed me off the most was he's on Facebook going, "Oh, my dog got put down today." I'm like, your dog should have been shot by me 2 months ago. I felt bad that I didn't shoot the dog. And then, so they get another dog, same issues, same problem, and it's a pit bull who's not getting enough attention. And my dad told him, he says, if you do not start paying attention or locking up that dog, he says, I'm going to wind up shooting the dog, because we weren't going to take that chance again. And that pit bull got out, come down there, and grabbed a hold of his dog and tore him up. And Dad walked down there and shot that dog in my sister's living room. And, so now that, my sister's not talking about it. And then they come over and they were bitching at me. It's like, he told you. We weren't, we have people that come out the house all the time. We got veterans that come out the house. Can't have a dog randomly running around that attacks people. Just because he thinks he's, blue heelers are that way. Other than Max, the only dog that's ever bit me was a blue heeler. And he suckered me in. He was sitting quietly on the other side of the fence. I was going over to look at an old 1930 Chevy pickup, and the owner didn't show up, and the dog was sitting 10 feet back from the gate, just sitting there, just looking at me. And I walked up and leaned on that gate, and that dog took off, ran through there, stuck his head through the gate, and bit me on the knee. And I should know better. Blue heelers, you see a blue heeler in the back of a truck, that's his truck. There's a reason farmers put blue heelers in the back of trucks, is that's how you keep your tools from getting stolen. I don't know what's. You guys see this just crap coming on? Yeah. You got to be careful with rescues. Everybody's rescue happy. My wife's like, "Oh, if we're gonna get a new dog, we're gonna rescue." I'm like, I'm done with the rescue thing. It's a basket case every time. I know if I go get a new puppy and I train a new puppy, he's gonna be friendly to people, and I won't have any. He won't have any abusive issues, and I won't have any, nor will he have any long-term emotional issues. Yeah. I I think the only dogs I wouldn't mind rescuing are labs, golden retrievers. Jim, how's it going? Though labs, golden retrievers, I wouldn't rescue any little dogs. Beagles, we rescue beagles. Uh, Most people get rid of beagles because they're loud. Yeah. I wonder if my wife's back from her run yet. She hates when I do this. I got tracking on the phone. Oh, I can't see my phone. Ah, refresh. Oh, nope, she's still out running. We don't get cell service out there worth a shit. That's one of our problems. Hour ago. So, Ron, what's going on, man? Yeah. How's your kingdom doing this morning? We want to go look at your kingdom, Ron? What's your kingdom, Ron? What are you guys doing? You guys are the big wigs. You're the big coiners. I'm really hoping they come to the reality that you cannot that you just need to let people you need to put a flat fee for moving from kingdom to kingdom, and uh maybe put a cool down on how often you can move. Uh I don't even well, I don't even know if I'd put a cool down on, whether or not you can move during KVK, right? You want to charge somebody $20, they want to switch kingdoms? Let them go do it. You're going to let these people troll anyway. What a great way to troll. Make some money while they troll. I That's a seriously bad idea. No one should be doing that because it would run off players. That's right, 158. I knew that. I just couldn't remember it. My memory is such shit. Yeah, you guys are taking over somebody else, which is normal. In the gas station. My God, thank God gas is going down. Whew, what would we do if them Russians hadn't started pumping gas to Europe? Who knew invading a country would increase your oil sales? I'm so glad we forced the Russians to save their gold and sell their oil by letting them invade their neighbors. We's the smartens. Yeah, everybody knew what was going on there all the way since the 90s. This really comes all the way back to the 90s. This is 20 years in the making. Yeah. The United States is the only country in the world that you're allowed to own your property and be secure in it, and every other country wants that gone. China, there's one country down in South America now that's the holdout against communist China, and it's about to fall. Yeah, Brazil. Brazil's the only one that doesn't have the. Yeah, they opened up the pipeline from Russia to Germany, and so all the Russian oil is flowing into Europe now, and that's relieving the world market pressure. Yeah. So rather than the United States sell its oil to relieve the market pressure, we let the Russians who are invading their neighbors sell their oil so that they can keep their army financed. Yeah. How sad is it that you're thinking 3.45 a gallon? Thank God. All honestly, with it, if it had stayed at $5 a gallon while people were trying to buy the back to school stuff this month, the just a reminder of how broke and poor you are. Yeah. I mean, even if you're a person of means, it's $122 to fill my truck the other day. So I don't go anywhere in my truck right now. The the just just don't do it. We did the trip to Kansas in the Jeep, and Jeep is avoiding my warranty deal because we dropped from 25 miles a gallon to 10 miles a gallon. As soon as we hit a headwind with that trailer on, it started dumping DEF fluid down that Jeep. You're not supposed to burn more than 3 to 5% DEF fluid. 1 to 3% is what it's supposed to be. But max, by law, 3 to 5%. We burned an entire tank of DEF in one day. And that Jeep dropped from 25 miles per gallon towing the trailer down to 10. It cost us an extra $900 on that trip because the computer decided us towing was an environmental hazard and just set our exhaust on fire for 18 straight hours. And if it was a Generation 2 diesel, I'd have already swapped the computer out and took the DEF off of it. But there are no DEF deletes for the Generation 3 diesels. Because they really went out of their way to try and prevent people from doing it. And right now with Biden in office, you can't get anybody to even work on an aftermarket computer to replace those damn things. And there's so few Dodge V6 diesels out there, there's not a market for building aftermarket computers. But if somebody was to sell me a Generation 3 diesel delete for $2,000, I'd buy it tomorrow. Because it would take that Jeep up to about 40 miles per gallon when it's unloaded and just over 30 while it's loaded. It's not that we tow that often with it, but we want to. You know, one of the reasons we got the diesel Jeep was so that we could put motorcycles behind it and we could go to we could go to rallies, take the Jeep, for when it's raining. We can look cool in our Rubicon if it's raining and ride the motorcycles when it's not. I can't take any long trips on the bikes anymore. And I started yesterday. Guys, I've been doing this crypto thing for almost a year now. And yesterday, I started taking profit. Yeah. Even with the market down, I'm up. If I had this same system I had in place last year, that I have in right now running, if I had it last year, I'd been at $18,000 a month. But crypto being down, I'm not making that much. I'm making about $1,000 a month with it being in the toilet down as far as it's going to go down. So I'm in the profit. So now I'm going to start taking profit. Yeah. My number one crypto stock that's making me money is called Muse, M-U-S-E. Yeah. It's making me a fortune. Man, we are just having internet issues today. I can't even get internet on my phone worth a damn. Some articles all over about sodium batteries. We did that thing. We were talking about the sodium batteries because we were talking about the crypto stuff and what I was trying to do with solar back in January. And I've got so many politicians that follow me on LinkedIn. It just became an instant news story about sodium ion batteries, and they're not sodium ion batteries, but almost everybody's wanting to build a sodium battery now because A, it takes China out of the equation, and B, they're way better. It's a liquid sodium battery, megawatts of power. You can overcharge for the shit out of them compared to lithium, because lithium's so expensive to make. But a sodium battery, hell, if you charge me $5,000 for one sodium battery, I'd buy two tomorrow. It'd be cheap infrastructure. You got the Voss coin guy who's talking about putting up a solar farm out there, replacing his corn with a solar farm. Says, well, I'm talking with my electric company about them becoming my storage, the grid becoming your storage. And people do not get that that's not a thing. That selling your energy back to the electric company they can't use it. It's not going to your neighbor. They're not reselling it. It doesn't work that way. It's literally a meter by law placed on your building that says you're producing more than you're using. And as you're burning it into the ground, the electric company has to pay you for what you throw away. So you're being wasteful. You bought too much solar. You're wasting the money that you bought in the solar. And the electric company has to pay the bill because you couldn't do the math. And that only lasts a short time. They just had it in the UK. They just got rid of that because it leaves the homeowners hanging on bullshit, right? All right. It's 9 o'clock here. I'm going to go eat some breakfast. Man, I went by I bought a candy bar and I drank half a Coke, and I shouldn't have done that. I got to go eat some eggs. I was going to go by and get a croissant breakfast sandwich from the Chinese donut shop, but they're closed. Before I get started this morning, I got to eat. So now I'm going to eat healthy. Yeah, 799 is full of trolling. Yeah. My gosh. Radiance, I appreciate it, but the trolls usually ask me first. I don't know who you are. Oh, I'm assuming Radiance is the one is Deanna. She's in our live chat. She's one of the moderators of our live chat. I shouldn't have said it. Yeah. And see, I know it's you because you have a theme to your names. Everybody wonders how I know this stuff randomly on the internet. The theme to your name, I should. 9 times out of 10, it's a troll that invites me to the alliance first. But this morning, I know it's you. Yeah. You haven't spoke up, hadn't said anything. And basically, it's just an educated guess. All right, guys. Hey, I appreciate everybody stream. Tuesday will be for the new players. It's going to be new things. Ignore the trolls. When I point out stuff in the big castle, it's because the buildings are open in the big castle. It's there for filming. None of these next films are about. Man, I need coffee just because I was sitting still. I'm about to get up and move around a little bit because I need to move around. But I'm going to go watch the movie Bullet Train today. The new Brad Pitt movie. Ooh, he's so dreamy. But it actually looked funny. I think that the Thor movies, what's that guy's name? The Thor movies are so funny that they're pulling the people who don't give a shit about comic books, and I don't like the Thor movies. They're funny, so I watch the Thor movies just because they're funny. So I think old Brad Pitt did this Bullet Train movie kind of mocking his style. Who's the guy that gets naked in Thor? Who's Thor? What's his name? Who plays Thor? Spoiler alert, he's naked. And all the ladies are like, I'm going to go see Thor today. It should be fun for the kids. Yeah. Oh, oh man. Now his name's like right on the tip of my tongue too. See, the first Thor movies, they didn't do any of that humor stuff. And yawn. Who could give a damn about Thor, right? Once they put some humor in it. What was it? The Ragnarok movie was the one where they started with the humor. If you don't have the Disney app, see, they did all those movies, but there's a timeline to that Marvel comic universe, and you can go watch even though they put the movies hit the theaters out of order, you can go put all the movies in order, and then you kind of understand. Yeah, I knew you'd know, Chris Hemsworth. Yeah, Chris Hemsworth is bare-assed in the new Thor movie. Yeah. Hemsworth. Was he the one in the movie with Sandra Bullock as well? That was a good movie. Because you had Brad. Well, now see there, that makes sense. There's the crossover. Brad Pitt was in the movie with Chris Hemsworth. All of a sudden, Brad Pitt's doing a movie in a Chris Hemsworth style. A little humor in the action flick, which makes you actually want to go see it because I don't give a shit. Nowadays, I got so much, The I said I've got to get electric infrastructure done. I'm profit taking now, so that I can get electric infrastructure up in here. I think if I don't upgrade electric, the electric company is going to make me poor for the rest of my life. There's no stopping a fee or a tax on the electric bill. It just shows up. Yeah, that had both of them in there. So now Brad Pitt's doing. He sounded like Chris Hainsworth because I can't see, but the way he was talking when I was watching the preview for I couldn't see him. The it sounded like Chris Hemsworth. It sounded like, well, that sounds funny. I'll go watch that. I hope that wasn't all the funny stuff in the preview, right? I sat down and watched Ghostbusters again the other day. Ghostbusters is one of the funniest movies ever. The it was ranked one of the top movies of the 20th century, and as well it should have been. It was like a record-breaking freaking movie of epic proportions. And like today's dollar, it's probably like still one of the top grossing movies ever. You know, when you account for inflation. It is what it is, man. Lost City. Oh, you'll love Lost City. Yeah. Yeah. Lost City was the name of it. Yeah, you'll like that one. That was a good movie. I like Sandra Bullock movies. She's America's sweetheart. The the I don't think the one I didn't like Gravity. I mean, there's movies with Sandra Bullock that way too chick flicky. But yeah, the Lost City you'll like. If you hadn't seen that, see that one. Man, I haven't seen nothing new. What have been? I've been watching Mike and Molly on HBO. The that the disturbing part of Mike and Molly for me, because I get into politics stuff, right? Is it's a TV show where she is a Chicago teacher. She's unionized. I mean, she's got tenure because she's going for the job of vice principal, so she has tenure. He is a Chicago police officer. A Chicago police officer makes about $110,000, $120,000 a year. A Chicago teacher makes about $95,000 a year. They're lit, and the premise is we're living in our home of our mother rent free, and we're broke with $200,000 a year worth of income and no costs. And she, the politics of the all teachers are poor. And I will tell everybody, go drive by the teacher's parking lot of your local school and point to the SUV under $60,000 parked in the parking lot. There's a truism to this game and life. If you only work 6 months a year, you have 6 months of the year to spend your money, which means you don't manage it well. If you're not making money, you're spending money. That's an absolute fact. So you had freaking Groot running off to work. Yeah, stopping at the gas station. I don't know. It's Saturday. He may be going out. He may be going boating. You don't know. And that does sound like fun. I might want to go boating today. I walk. I see. I want to go boating, but I walk so unstably. It's hard for me to get from the dock to the boat now. We got a low profile speedboat, and it bobs. I'm always afraid I'm going to freaking fall in the freaking water. It's hard for me to get in. So we launch with the boat, with me in the boat now. I don't know. We're hoping. I got a new doctor coming up on the 17th because I am in a fight with all the orders from my neurologist have disappeared. The community care representative at the VA has been trashing requests for surgeries. Well, we don't know what you're talking about. We didn't get that, you know. Incompetence is the excuse of why they. I said, well, how about calling them up and get another copy of it? And then they hung up the phone on me. I've been hung up by the VA for asking simple questions like, "Where's my medication request?" Click. That's becoming the answer over there. To you know what? Do you not know we're trying to kill people? The so I got a private doctor now that is now going, but I got a private doctor to fight the VA with. The because I got one in network, and that doctor is going to send over requests to the VA, and then when it gets lost, we're going to, like I said, I got the offer. I've got the Office of Inspector General actually involved with my healthcare at this point. Yeah, and they are terrible, but is what we got to do. We can't wait 2 more years while the liberals pull this stuff off. Killing a bunch of people that don't vote Democrat is smart business in their books. Uh, just that is the progressive view of eugenics. These people are a burden upon society, so we need to make them go away. That's the way they've viewed veterans for a long time. All right, guys, I am taking off. I'm going to get some stuff done today. I'm going to go watch a movie, do something, enjoy my Saturday. It is 9:30 here, and I got